And I do want to say this I know a lot of people listen to your podcast that want to create memberships. And I want to say that like from the very beginning, I wanted to get 3,000 people in. That was my goal. I wanted to get 3,000 people within 3 years. I think having long-term goals really powerful because we dream too small in the short term and not big enough in the long term, right? So it's or too big in the short term and not big enough in the long term. So I wanted 3,000 within 3 years. So the whole time I was building my membership, I was building it for 3,000 people. And I think that's really important because in the beginning, you can do lots of high touch, but that doesn't scale. And so if you start your membership where you're the one doing everything, you're going to have to recreate it every time you want to scale. So my recommendation is like, think how many people do you ultimately want in this and how can you set it up in a way so, it'll scale and still be as effective. And so that was
and the original people don't feel cheated because you've got all this high touch for your first 100 people.
Exactly.
And then you take that away. I mean, you love your founding members. I mean, we still have, I think like 65% of the people that joined the first webinar or something.
Wow.
And they've been here the whole time. They've been to our live events. They buy everything I sell. It's amazing. But at the same time, we started, and I was lucky because, Shramko, when we were building out learning the membership model, I joined his program and saw how he did it. So I had a really good mentor to copy, basically.
Yeah.
And we did start with the group things, and we did a lot. We did do a lot of reach outs, like tell us your opinion. We'll shape the community. But man, I've seen people's memberships crash because they'll go 3 beta groups, 25 people or so, high touch, one-on-one. Then they're ready to launch and raise their price, and all those people quit, and you lost your whole base. All in one day. That's super wise.
And one of the things that was really important to me, especially in the beginning, is I didn't want anyone to be worried about how many people were in the group. So I don't have, one of the big differences with my program is I don't have a community. So, and I know that's like the opposite of what y'all have, but for me, I'm not great at building community. I'm not good at like getting into Facebook groups and creating connections with everyone and creating all that bonding. That's just not my forte. I'm very good at teaching and very good at coaching. And so I set it up from the very beginning where the members actually don't have interaction with each other. Okay. It's mainly like they're coming in to have a coaching relationship with me. And so it was important that they felt like exclusive in that, like they felt like they were having a relationship with me through the videos and through the coaching that I did. And so there was never a sense where people understood, are there 50 people in this group or 5,000? Like nobody ever knows. And so that creates this huge sense of like, it's very personal to people because we could have, hundreds of people on a webinar. No one's going to know how many people are on there. They're just going to know, hey, I pulled you on and we coached one-on-one. So I had that vision from the beginning because I think sometimes in the community, I can't remember if yours says how many people are actually in there, but as that starts to grow, those original members can get frustrated, right? It's like, oh, wait, there was just 300. Now there's 3,000. I have no access anymore. Yeah. Just something to consider.
I did have one person one time say, and we're still we're Facebook friends still. She's done a great job building her membership. Her podcast is amazing. But I do remember after 2 or 3 years, her leaving the community. And I remember her saying, originally it felt like a neighborhood and then it felt like a village. And now it just feels like a city, but I took that to heart and I was like, okay, well, we've got to recapture that magic somehow, right? We've got to figure out how to do that and connect it. So we did learn from it, but even when you're trying, that's going to happen. And if you can't scale, if you don't let that happen, and it just sucks that 5% of your people may feel that way. Yeah. But you just gotta expand. That's what I think Jody Moore does that too. She doesn't let the members don't interact with each other. Yep. Do you know who she is? Yeah, she goes.
Yeah, she's one of my coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the life coach label on there. Yeah. She was also in the Flip Lifestyle community, and she blew her membership up. And she told me that. And I was looking back through her stuff after our podcast, and I've got you. I'm going to say this to you right now because I was going to say it to her, but we got off the show. Your community simply exists in a different place because the community does drive membership a lot of ways. For example, on my U.S. history teacher site, they don't interact with each other in the lesson plans or anything. I got this Facebook group where I share stupid memes, and that's where I get 1,000 shares and all these crazy things. And that's the place where history teachers go to have fun.
Oh, right? Yeah, totally.
And yours is the same thing. It's like the podcast or these live events where so many people are seeing you. That they're still a part of this thing. This maybe movement is a better word than community. You know what I'm saying? To
And they all identify themselves as scholars. Are you a scholar? Are you a diamond scholar? Are you a double diamond scholar? Right? They all can identify each other. I just don't manage a community where they're all talking back and forth. So, I mean, there's lots of different ways to do it. Lots of different options.
You're creating community without having to manage it.
Exactly.
Which may be way smarter than mine because I have to manage way too much. Okay.